quiet of the night, winds from the four corners of the sky began to violently churn the great ocean, signaling a strange omen. In the first year of the king's reign, the prophet drifted into a dream, beginning to see strange and mystical visions. The first beast rose from the depths of the sea like a winged lion, majestic amidst the waters. Then its eagle wings were broken off. The beast stood up like a man, bearing the mind of a human. Next, a massive bear appeared, standing on one side, its jaws gripping sharp ribs. A voice commanded it to arise, to devour much flesh, executing the ruthless power of an empire. After that, a leopard with 4 heads and 4 bird-like wings arose, grandly receiving ruling authority. With its 4 faces gazing in 4 directions, it ruled its kingdom amidst the raging waves. Finally, a terrifying beast appeared with gigantic iron teeth, crushing everything around it. It trampled whatever remained beneath its feet, possessing a supernatural strength unlike any of the previous beasts. On its head were 10 fierce horns, standing like rising fortresses of power. A small horn grew up among them, with human eyes and a mouth constantly uttering arrogant words. Daniel woke up startled, his mind still shaken by what he had just witnessed in the dream. Then the vision changed. The Ancient of Days appeared on a throne amidst a blazing river of fire. His throne was like burning fire, with wheels of blazing flame, radiating an eternal, righteous light. One like a son of man came on the clouds of heaven, granted an everlasting dominion. His kingdom is enduring, never to be destroyed, surpassing all the empires of beasts. At that moment, an angel drew near, willing to explain the meaning of the vision to Daniel. After hearing the interpretation, the prophet sank into deep contemplation about the future of mankind. He carefully recorded every vision, preserving the prophecy for future generations. Gradually, the light of a new day began to shine, dispelling the darkness of the nocturnal dreams. As the morning passed, his heart felt lighter, trusting in the providence of the Most High. A little later, gentle breezes blew in, carrying the stillness of a peaceful new day. He softly closed the scroll, holding fast to the prophecy concerning the rising kingdoms. And then, he looked out toward the distant horizon, where his kingdom would ultimately arrive. In that fleeting moment, all anxiety vanished, leaving only unwavering trust in the Eternal One. Finally, as evening descended gently upon the earth, the room also sank into a quiet rest. The dream had ended, but the hope of the eternal kingdom still shines forever in his heart. A gentle morning began in the distant heavens, where the clouds were gradually transforming in brilliant splendor. Then Daniel stood quietly amidst the vision, his eyes revealing a profound shock at what was being revealed. Afterwards, great beasts emerged from the deep sea, bearing a ferocious appearance that made the atmosphere tremble. At that time, the power of those beasts was gradually stripped away, reducing them to mere fragile shadows. At this moment, the fiery throne was set up in solemn dignity, illuminating the infinite expanse of heaven. The Ancient of Days sat there, his garment white as snow, his hair pure like clean white wool amidst thousands of flashing flames. A river of fire flowed out before him, as if to cleanse every injustice existing in the world. 10,000 times 10,000 angels reverently attended before him, awaiting the righteous judgment beginning from the holy place. The eternal books were opened, recording every truth beneath the light of his eternity. Then the arrogant beast was consumed by fire, ending the haughty words that had echoed for so long. The remaining beasts, though granted an extension of life, saw their dominion completely brought to an end. During this time, Daniel quietly observed, his mind gradually comprehending the mystery of the ages. Slowly, from within the pure white clouds of the high heavens, one like a son of man came in great glory. He drew near to the Ancient of Days, bearing the breath of peace and that immortal sovereign authority. An everlasting kingdom was granted, with glory blanketing every nation across the entire earth. Every language and every nation found sincere service under his sovereign rule. That dominion is forever enduring, never to perish or fade away as time flows by.
Xin hãy cho tôi hiểu rõ hơn về ý nghĩa của
Afterwards,
khải tượng vượt
the
núi này.
interpreting angel
Đây
appeared
chính là chương
beside
trình vĩnh
Daniel,
cửu về vương quốc
bringing
đời đời
wisdom
sẽ
to
được
the
thiết lập
prophet.
trên đất.
In that mystical space, every truth gradually became clear following the messenger's explanations. By the porch, Daniel carefully recorded everything he had witnessed onto ancient scrolls. As evening gently descended, his soul felt at peace with the visions of the future. And then, he sat by the small stream, listening to the murmuring night telling tales of the earth and sky. Finally, the silent night descended, closing a chapter on the eternal, unfading kingdom of glory.
A gentle morning began in the ancient stone room, where the visions were gradually unveiled. Daniel sat quietly, his spirit troubled before the disturbing images of the vision appearing before him. Afterwards, a wise angel ferocious beasts arose from the sea, symbolizing four upcoming kingdoms. Now the lion and the bear manifested stark cruelty, spreading terror across the earth. Slowly, the leopard with four heads and bird wings soared upward, full of power and transformation. A moment later, the fourth beast appeared with iron teeth, crushing everything beneath its feet. During this time, the small horn with arrogant eyes began to sprout, vying for dominance. Daniel watched intently, his heart full of deep concern regarding the true meaning of these dark forces. As the afternoon sun slanted, the angel began to interpret those fierce kingdoms. Those are four kings who will arise on the earth, ruling sequentially in different ways. Then, the majesty of the Most High was mentioned, holding an eternal kingdom forever. In particular, he wanted to know more about the distinct horn, the one speaking arrogant blasphemies. At this time, that horn waged war against the Holy Ones, spreading weariness and crooked laws. The Holy Ones were delivered into that king's hand for a time, times, and half a time, full of bitterness. Gradually, the supreme judgment seat was established, defending the holy people against tyranny. The Ancient of Days sat upon his throne with majesty, his righteous radiance shining everywhere. A moment later, the tyrant's dominion was stripped away, utterly and permanently destroyed. At that time, one like a son of man approached, granted an eternal kingdom that will never pass away. And then, the kingdom and supreme dominion were given to the people of the holy ones of the Most High. From then on, the kingdom of the Most High was established securely in eternal obedience. Finally, Daniel awoke, his soul comforted after the overwhelmingly grand vision. Slowly, the angel vanished into the light, leaving behind a message of hope for all generations. When the room grew quiet, he offered thanksgiving before the almighty power of the Most High. The light of morning flooded the room, dispelling any lingering doubts within his heart. Afterwards, he gently rolled up the holy writings, treasuring everything deep within his soul. Everything became still, reflecting the beauty of an eternal, unfading kingdom. A gentle breeze blew through the window slit, carrying the cool breath of freedom and peace. Walking slowly out to the porch, he felt the miraculous transformation of the vast earth and sky. When the afternoon sun began to slope downward, the scenery seemed to harmonize with the heartbeat of eternity. Wildflowers bloomed under the sunlight, as if rejoicing over the approaching day of his kingdom. From then on, every step he took upon the earth grew firmer with a settled faith. A small stream murmured as it flowed past, ringing out a clear song of redemption and blessing. Birds gently spread their wings to fly back to their nests, seeking safe refuge under the high sky. As sunset dyed everything in brilliant orange hues, he silently prayed for the swift arrival of his glory. As the afternoon drifted away, golden light stretched across the hills, so beautiful and peaceful. Gradually, the stars began to shine, symbolizing the eternal power of the Lord's kingdom. A moment later, he slowly returned to the room, feeling truly relieved after a long day. The oil lamp continued to burn brightly, like an unquenchable faith in the prophet's heart. As night fell, he diligently read over and over the promises regarding the eternal kingdom. Every aged page contained wonderful truths about the dominion belonging to the holy people. In the quiet atmosphere of the deep night, his heart clearly sensed a comforting presence. Slowly, he closed his eyes, resting after all the turmoil of those visionary images. And then, darkness enveloped the outside space, promising a bright dawn ahead. All dominion will serve the Most High in an eternal kingdom that will never shift. At this moment, a thin wisp of smoke rose, dissolving into the air like worries chased away. The space was completely silent, leaving only the presence of faith and undying hope. Gradually, he drifted deep into sleep, leaving behind the long, restless, and confusing days. Slowly, everything around grew still, witnessing the peace of a trusting soul. Finally, the gentle moonlight shone through the window, guarding the peaceful sleep of that prophet. And then, nature harmonized into an eternal song, awaiting the day his kingdom is revealed. Finally, everything was placed into the hands of the Most High, where his kingdom exists forever.
The brilliant vision gradually dissolved into the bright morning mist, leaving the silent stone room in a heavy, contemplative silence. Afterwards, Daniel sat quietly, his face pale because of the things he had just witnessed in the deep dream. At this time, he carefully treasured those wondrous visions deep within his heart, like a sacred treasure. Finally, the confusion gradually gave way to a deep, profound conviction as the sun rose high outside the window.
In the first year of Belshazzar's unstable throne, Daniel lies on his bed in the night all alone. A vision of the deep, a dream starts to rise as the four winds of heaven stir the dark, stormy skies. From the churning great sea, churning wild and intense, four colossal great beasts come ascending from thence. Each one is different, a terrifying sight, shaking the earth with their shadow and might. The first was a lion, but with eagle's swift wings. I watched till its feathers were plucked from all things, lifted up from the ground, on 2 feet like a man, a human heart given as the vision began. Then behold a second beast, a bear fierce and grim, raised up on one side in the shadows so dim, 3 ribs in its teeth, between jaws wide and great. A voice cried, "Arise, devour flesh, satiate!" But above the great storms and the kingdoms of clay, there's a court being seated that won't pass away. The books are wide open, the judgment is near. The sovereignty of heaven is about to appear. I looked, and another, like a leopard, passed by, with 4 wings of a bird on its back, raised up high. The beast had 4 heads, holding power and sway, and dominion was given as it marched on its way. Then a 4th beast appeared,
Even in the visions of night, exceedingly dreadful, with terrifying might, it had iron teeth, crushing all in its path, stamping the residue down in its wrath. It was different and fierce, with 10 horns on its head, trampling the earth where the nations once bled. Then a little horn grew as I watched in surprise, plucking 3 of the first horns right before my eyes. This horn had human eyes, looking arrogant and bold, and a mouth speaking words proud and uncontrolled, waging war with the saints, trying to wear them away, changing times, changing laws, turning light into gray. I yanced till the thrones were all placed in their sight, and the Ancient of Days took his seat in the light. His garment was white as the pure driven snow, the hair of his head like clean wool in the glow. His throne was aflame, wheels of burning desire, and before him there flowed a great river of fire. Thousands served him in majesty bright. 10,000 times 10,000 stood in his side. The voice of sea, and the books were unsealed. The tomb of the beast was forever revealed. His body destroyed, given straight to the flame, while the Ancient of Days sees forever the same. In the night I turned, I looked up to see one like a son of man, coming gloriously. With the clouds of the sky, to the throne he drew near, brought before the great King, with no shadow of fear. To him was given dominion and praise, a kingdom of glory that outlasts the days. Every nation and language, every people and tribe shall serve him forever in glorious Christ. His dominion is endless, sin will never decay. His kingdom shall never be broken away. The saints of the Most High shall take up the land and possess it forever. His kingdom will stand.
The eternal kingdom of the Most High has completely triumphed over the ferocious and magnificent beastly powers. But the prophetic mysteries do not stop here. A new page of visions unfolds immediately afterward. At that time, Daniel walked to the bank of the quiet Ulai River, his heart wind-splitting speed, gliding as fast as if it didn't touch the ground. Gradually, the interpreting angel appeared, preparing to unveil the mysteries behind the terrifying and bloody clash. Afterwards, tension blanketed the air as the two fierce beasts plunged directly into one another with brutality. As dust billowed into the air and waves churned the river surface, the entire space seemed to tremble before the force of the collision. Finally, the vision gradually faded into the sunset, inviting the viewer to await the upcoming mysteries ahead.
If today's story has encouraged and inspired you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. Your support is a tremendous source of encouragement that motivates me to continue creating more high-quality biblical cinematic stories for everyone around the world. Thank you for being part of this journey.